Hello, my name's Dr. Claire Baker, and in this short film, we'll look together at the views of children and young people in care on staying connected. The Bright Spots programme was developed in partnership between Professor Julie Selwyn at the University of Oxford and Coram Voice, and the work was funded by the Hadley Trust. And the programme is all about supporting local authorities to explore how their children in care and care leavers feel about their lives, and then to use the information they find out to do something about it, to change the way they deliver their services and to inform service development. The work was absolutely co-produced with young people based on what they said makes life good. The programme's been running for around a decade, and we've created 4 surveys. The first one, Your Life, Your Care, has 3 versions for different age groups, starting from age 4 up to 18. And the Your Life Beyond Care survey is for care leavers. And so far, we've heard from a huge number of young people about how things are going. Over 24,000 children across the UK have taken part from 80 different local authorities. And the programme really believes that children and young people are experts in their own lives. And yet, if we look at the official statistics, we don't find children's voice. We find objective measures and professional assessments. At no point do children in those statistics, do we hear from them about whether they feel happy, safe, whether they think they're doing well. So the Bright Spots programme tries to fill this gap, helping local authorities systematically listen to their young people. It's about subjective well-being, which is feeling good and functioning well at an individual and interpersonal level. Here you can see the well-being indicators for children in care, and they told us what was important in their lives. And it's all about trying to shift the focus of the care system to some areas that might have been previously neglected. So you can see here, children really emphasise the relationship, so staying connected to the people they identify as important, such as seeing your mum, dad, brothers, sisters, as much as you want. So are you happy with how often you see them? Have you got a really good friend? Do you have a pet? Do you trust your social worker? And there's other domains around feeling safe where you live, feeling included in decision making. Do you get to do similar things to your friends? Are you happy with how you look? Because we think that what's important to children and young people is not always the focus of children's social care, but we feel it really should be. Everything we ask about in our surveys are important to children's well-being, but in the analysis we've done, we've found out that some things are more strongly associated with well-being, and it might be particularly important to focus on these. If we were to look at the 6 factors that children of all ages have said are important to their well-being, we can see having trusted and available social workers, having a really good friend, liking school, seeing your parents and your brothers and sisters as often as you want, feeling safe and settled where you live, and having carers who you trust and who are sensitive. Are really important things. And there's different things in relation to our different age groups. For example, for our younger ones, we found making sure an adult has taken the time to explain why children are in care, having those carers who notice your feelings, not experiencing bullying, and having fun were things that were particularly associated for our younger children. And then for the older children, as you grow older, having that chance to practice life skills, feeling involved in decision making, opportunities to be trusted, doing the same things as your friends, feeling happy with how you look, and not having worries and feelings. All of these factors were associated with well-being. But if we were to focus on staying connected, we'd see that children's satisfaction with how often they see their parents, brothers, sisters, really matters to their well-being. But the key question is not whether contact is or isn't happening, but rather do children feel it's right for them? And most children we find are not satisfied. Many want more frequent chances to stay connected to the people who are important to them. And only about half feel involved in the decisions and feel that their views are really listened to. So based on our findings, we want to really encourage social workers, IROs, and all those who work alongside children in care to focus on their views, on who they want to see, where they want to see them, how often, and to try to make this possible. And if it's not possible, to help children understand why, to support them in their disappointment. It's really important that we normalise family time, whenever possible, allowing children to meet families in the community, using contact centres to really work alongside parents to improve their interactions and their time with their children, and making sure children feel listened to. And here we're going to listen together to a film from young people on this very topic of staying connected.
Staying connected. The views of looked after children and young people on seeing their family and those important to them. This July, we are excited to share new research by the Rees Centre at the University of Oxford and Cora Voice about Children in Care's views about staying connected with family and other people who are important to them. Alongside the Bright Spots programme, the research helps local authorities listen to their children in care and care leavers about things that are important to them. In this video, we wanted to include the voice of some of our National Voice ambassadors who will share their experiences on what family and being connected means to them. We are a national voice,
and we want to talk to you about staying connected. Hello, my name is Adora Bella. Went into foster care when I was about 14 years old. I have 3 younger siblings. I got to stay with my sister during my time in foster, whereas my brothers was in a separate placement. My 2 brothers were together in this different placement. It was hard for me because obviously I wanted to see them grow up. I will always look out for them, so it was really hard for me, especially going from every day seeing them. When it came to seeing family, when I first went into foster, it was once every 2 weeks. Then he went to every month. We weren't too happy about it. We wanted to change that. They wouldn't like to do that because they said they didn't have enough professionals. And then it got changed to once every 2 months, which was even harder. Only the ground this year, well then last year, for it to be changed back to once every month. It shouldn't have to take as long as it does. Professionals could have been there to support it. Social worker didn't deliver much. Everything took so long for me to go out and see friends, having a phone taking near enough a year. Can't feel at home when you're going through a process. You don't have to go through a process when you're at home. Didn't get support to see extended family because my aunts and cousins were all in Essex or in America. We didn't get any support with that. And even with the holiday allowance, we didn't decide where to go. Didn't have much choice where to go on holiday. It was all decided for us. We had no power over much, to be honest. I wish we had more choices. Holiday allowance was for us, and I wish we had the option to either save it and choose where we want to go on. So maybe we could see family as in these far places.
Hello, my name is Sky. So I was placed into care when I was 8 years old. I was originally placed with 2 of my siblings, so my older brother and one of my younger siblings, and 2 of my other siblings actually went into different foster homes. Being placed away from the younger siblings was really hard for me. It felt like I'd gone through a lot of loss in such a short period of time. Part of the reasons that we were put into care were actually because we were being parents to these younger children. We had always kind of taken care of them because our own parents didn't. And so it was very hard to go from being this mother figure to having to leave them alone and just trust that they're safe and that they're okay. I don't remember much about that time, but I think I was supported to see them in the very beginning. I vaguely remember it possibly being, contact a couple of times every week or so. But as time went on, the younger ones got adopted, and then I moved away from the siblings that I was with. And so I ended up being on my own in a foster home. And I think that was definitely the lowest point for me, living on my own and losing everybody who had been close to me, definitely. So when I was first placed into care, I did have contact with my mum. I think, again, it might have been a couple of times a week. I never had any contact with my dad, but this was the same when I was living at home as well. We were never particularly close. I vaguely remember seeing my nan, I think, a couple of times as well. Once it got decided we were to begin long-term care, though, it all switched and changed. It changed from seeing them, every week or so to once a year. And I actually fought to see them more often, so they ended up agreeing on 3 times a year. That was really hard to go from having this and mother there to never seeing them on Christmas and birthdays and stuff. I was always happy where I saw my family. We were very lucky that we were always, asked where do we want to go, what do we want to do, what sort of activities do we want to do, and they met that to the best of their abilities. We, went to McDonald's, we went to parks, we went to play areas and stuff like that. So I do have some really good memories of having some fun on Contact. The meaning of family to me has definitely changed over the years. As a kid, it was those who you protect no matter what. People that you're related to blood-wise, you always forgive. And as I've grown older, I've realised that's definitely not the case, and it shouldn't have to be the case. My family now are those that support me, push me to be better, and love me no matter what, not those who try and hurt me.
It's like a space where you can see your family and just be able to be yourselves, be able to speak to each other, update each other, what's happening with each other's lives. From now being separated, I feel it's time you can just enjoy each other and each other's company. I know that we'll always be there for each other.
Great. And actually, Core and Voice have produced a resource bank on our website. We've got over 100 examples from local authorities of the different ways they've responded to what their young people say matters. And so do have a look at that resource. It's absolutely free, and it's a really good way to tune into what children say is important to a good childhood and a good life. And we've also got a lot of different reports, so you can read about some of the different work and some of the different issues that children tell us is really important. Thank you for your time and listening to how children and young people are feeling.